Hi again, I'm Shanti Moroina and my intention continues to grow. I'm determined to give you the most valuable training you can possibly get. And this is the only map you'll ever need on your journey to becoming an impactful, visionary leader as you were always meant to be. And it's free. Before we dive into today's training, I want to thank you. Thank you for signing up. Thank you for being open to vulnerable leadership. And thank you for trusting your instincts. And lastly, thank you for being willing to walk a path that did not exist before you put your foot on it. You are bravely stepping out of your comfort zone, and this is where all your brilliance is possible. Remember, a leader is not someone who says, "Follow me," but rather somebody who says, "I'll go first." And yes, a leader cannot wait for the approval from the outside since there isn't going to be any. And a leader's only guidance are her or his feelings and instincts, and there is no guarantee and there is no comfort. But there is a lot of purpose, impact, and contribution. And there is fulfillment and happiness that comes only from making this world a better place. And in today's video, you will have your journey outlined and mapped out. You will see what excess baggage are you carrying around and how to drop it. And it will require courage, determination, and vulnerability. I also have prepared a roadmap for you in a PDF handout as well. You can find it below this video, so please download it and pause the video right now if you have to. It will be easier for you to follow along. And if you haven't watched the videos 1 or 2, you'll want to put this video on pause and go watch those first. I'll wait for you here. I want you to get most out of this video series and journey, and you'll need to watch all the videos in order they've been provided for that to happen. I know you're eager to have this roadmap. I'm the same way. I want everything always yesterday. But the true satisfaction comes from the kind of adventure that is created moment to moment and requires the total presence. True or true? Today, you are going to get in touch with your purpose and follow your desire to determine your next step forward. Be brave. When you know what your next step is, go for it. You know, just knowing what to do never brings results. You need to actually do it. But also, on the other hand, be patient and persistent, because no one has ever achieved success overnight, and neither will you. If you are making your steps consistently, you will become the impactful visionary leader that you were always meant to be. Let me just connect the dots a little bit for you here. In the first video, I introduced a vehicle to travel through the phases and the importance of emotional transformation. I also introduced FEEL, my simple and effective method to create emotional transformation quickly and with lasting results. And in the second video, you received an opportunity to open your eyes and step out of your denial of your true role and your true purpose by transforming the fear of following your big dreams and breaking your family rules. I also shared how I opened my eyes and how I stepped out of the denial. But I haven't told you what happened next. I was pushed through my eye of the needle, and that was what made it all possible for the life that I'm living today. The moment I stepped out of the denial and started my journey, I became more and more aware of how much I was suppressing my power, my desires, my purpose, and my truth. I was actually in denial of my true self. And when I realized all this, boy, I was angry. How could this be happening to me? And next I tried to bargain with God and universe. You know, I halfway accepted that I needed to change, but I wanted to strike a deal, to transform under my terms. Look, I promise I'll step up into my leadership. Just help me fix my marriage. In other words, I'll go all in, but it has to be my way, under my conditions. But it just doesn't work that way. Still, I kept this up until I was faced with my own eye of a needle. When my third child, my daughter, was 4, I had a terrifying dream, a prophetic nightmare, really. I dreamt that she would die if I didn't leave my marriage before she turned 5 years. And not only 6 months later, that dream became my reality, and it was the worst and the most transformative moments of my life. It was early spring and my daughter was outside running around the pool, and she must have been alone for a minute or two, and then that painful silence around the house just literally pushed me out of the kitchen, and I ran outside. And I found her floating in the pool, not breathing. And in a split second, I simply knew that that was my last warning. My daughter was telling me very clearly, "Mommy, either you provide a safe environment for me to grow up, or I have to leave." This was such a shock. I just knew I have to transform. I knew I have to go through the eye of a needle. And in order to go through, I needed to drop what I no longer needed. You might think it was my marriage that I needed to drop, but nothing could be further from the truth. My marriage was dead a long time ago. What I actually needed to drop was my self-judgment. I needed to drop the way I looked at divorce versus married. I needed to stop judging losing versus winning. I needed to embrace God's plan for me. I could not step into my leadership with a heavy belief and judgment that I was holding against myself. I needed to put myself first, and I finally dropped it all the moment I found myself calling my daughter back to life. It was the longest moment of my life, and I felt like I was literally injected into the new reality when she started to breathe again. Oh my God, I was so filled with gratitude. Thanks God, the angels, everybody. It was a wake-up call, and I learned my lesson. I didn't even think of looking or going back. And once I dropped that baggage, it was so much easier. Yes, I needed to go through grief and acceptance of my loss. I needed to allow and embrace the sadness, and by doing so, I healed so much of my past sadness too. The more fully I stepped into my leadership, the clearer it got. I simply had to go through the eye in order to become who I am today. It was required of me so that I could become a leader, helping wonderful people like you make your leap and your emotional transformation. So what is your leap? What is your judgment against yourself? Where do you hang on to an identity that no longer serves you? I really want you to understand that your leap is not possible without going through your own eye of the needle. Just go around and ask successful people. There is not a single leader on this planet who hasn't gone through it. So let's go on a journey. I want you to shift your reality, since you are meant to be out there, living your purpose, contributing and making impact. And your future is unfolding now and is waiting for you when you push through the eye of the needle to the other side. So take out your roadmap, and I'll take you through the phases now so you can understand where you are now and where to go next. As we've discussed already, the first phase is denial, and when you are faced with the denial, it is always painful. It's really hard to see what you were doing to yourself and also what was done to you. And as it becomes more clear, it's natural to be really angry. So, the first phase after we step out of denial is always anger. Why me? Why this is happening at all? I was doing my best. This is just not fair. And some of you may be familiar with anger, and some of you may not even feel it at all. Because anger is a very tricky feeling, and if you were not raised to express it in a healthy way, you may be missing this important energy in your life. That's right, anger is important. In fact, let's just talk about anger for a minute first. It's okay to be angry. It's just healthy, fully owned and well-expressed anger is a healthy emotion with an important purpose. Yet so many of us avoid anger because we've experienced anger expressed in a way that causes pain. This is where an impactful visionary leader needs to be a master of her or his emotions. And needless to say, suppressed anger or overexpressed abusive anger, they both have extremely unhealthy consequences. Suppressing anger causes many illnesses, and abusive anger damages relationships just beyond repair. So how can we transform and work with anger in a healthy way? Let's return to principles of feel. Today we won't go through it fully. Please go back and watch the first video in order to follow the steps in detail. The thing to know is that aspects of your anger are important. We need to fully own it and take full responsibility for having it. Yes, it can be something from the outside that triggers my anger, but it is mine. It's my energy, and I am responsible for the way I am responding to my anger. And when you master feel, you will be able to transform the energy of anger to a powerful and very, very positive energy. You will be able to make a change or set healthy boundaries in your relationships in other situations. And yes, even the amount of money is attracted as a consequence of your ability to set healthy boundaries. Knowing how to work with your anger in this way will completely change your leadership and ability to make the impact that you were meant to make. Yet anger doesn't bring the solution yet. It just serves you to move forward. When you are through the phase of anger, you will enter the phase of bargain and you will naturally begin to negotiate. You will try everything, just about everything, to achieve what you want your way. There is an old way of doing and understanding this, and this is hard to drop. This phase is recognized by deep feelings of resistance or even guilt, like, who am I to dream that big? You may be breaking very important family or social rules in this phase, but remember, there is no path for a leader, you are creating one. Until you break through resistance to your purpose and get rid of erroneous beliefs that are not serving you anymore, you will be stuck in this phase. It is not an easy phase at all, but eventually it leads to the conclusion that something needs permission to be just released. And by realizing this, you enter the phase of surrender. It might be accompanied by the sadness of letting go of something that was your identity until now. Remember, I had to let go of many things, including my marriage and the idea of how I should be in order to be accepted. I needed to be me, just like you need to be you. And the only way through this phase is to feel your loss and accept yourself for who you are and embrace the impact you are here to make. And then finally, when you think all is gone and nothing else is possible, you will truly surrender. At that moment, everything will fall away. You will be just naked, and just you, and you will enter into the eye of the needle. It is a narrow passage, but enjoy every moment of it, since there is a new reality waiting for you on the other side. And I tell you, before you are through it, you cannot even imagine what is there. You will be given something totally unpredictable and unexpected, and let yourself be surprised fully. You will be so happy and grateful you did, because finally you are stepping into the impactful leadership you've always known you were meant to. And when you're through the eye of the needle, there is a new world and a new reality. So changes will come to you and you will be able to embrace them. You will be able to live your dream. And of course, there will still be challenges, but mastering feel, you know how to get through them, and your journey will also be so much easier. This is why I promise this is the only tool you will ever need to travel the journey. Leap for Leaders is the online program I've created just for you to help you master the feel method, and most importantly, to help you make your leap. I'll share more details at the end of this training, and I sincerely hope that you will join us. I believe you are being called into leadership now, and that while you are here watching this, you are being invited to act on your big dreams that are inside of you. Those dreams may be clear or not so clear yet. It really doesn't matter. The process of this journey is designed to take you from fog to clarity. So don't worry that this is not for you just because you're not clear about your purpose yet. This is for you if you are crystal clear and if you are not. What is important is that you feel there is more to life for you. As a visionary, as a leader, your only guidance are many times your feelings and your instincts. So listen to your gut and follow it. You will learn an important lesson and you will never ever forget it. You also may be asking yourself if you are a leader. I tell you, I have worked with many brilliant people who have the same question. Am I a leader or am I not a leader? This is a question now. Well, if you have made it this far and you are still with me, even if you are outside of your comfort zone, and I know it would be easier to stay within it, I tell you, not everybody did. You are a leader. Remember, a leader is someone who says, I'll go first. What is the cause or challenge in your world that needs your attention? What is the bigger role for you that's bigger than how you are playing out right now? Remember, you are meant to create a new path, and it's one that has never been walked before. And unless you make the leap, it will remain overgrown. So it's time to walk your path because you are here to leave a legacy. Next, you may be worried if you can actually make a breakthrough and if you will make it through the eye of the needle. And this is a very good question too. Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. And he was right. No one can help you unless you decide you are willing to do what it takes. Unless you decide you can. But once you are determined and you enter the journey, I have never ever seen anyone who wasn't presented by a bigger, wonderful, more surprising reality before them, just waiting to be discovered. So you too will discover what you are meant to discover. Now you need to feel it because it is simply impossible to describe with the limited words we have in our vocabulary as humans. Give it a chance. Just feel the calling in your heart, in your chest, because this feeling is enough. Every visionary who has created an impact was faced with the same discomfort of being in the unknown, the unpredictable place without any guarantee. So you need to embrace, you need to embrace this adventure, and then you simply will succeed. All growth happens outside of the comfort zone, so will yours. And it's my purpose to hold space and a vision of a bigger picture for you. I take your journey and of course my journey very seriously, but I promise we will have so much fun because this journey is deep and it's transformational, but taking it with a sense of humor, it is just so much better. So don't take this too seriously that you forget to laugh. And now I'm asking you, are you ready to step into bigger life? Are you ready to journey to becoming the impactful visionary leader that you were always meant to be? It's not like jumping into the pool without the water. It's a proven path and you will be really well cared for along the way. And it has been great having you join me in this training series so far. I've really enjoyed it. And now it's my pleasure to let you know that I'll be opening the doors for my upcoming Leap for Leaders online program soon. So in the next video, I will tell you everything you need to know about the program to help you determine if this is the right next step for you and how to register for it. And then the doors will open and we will accept new visionaries just like you to join us. And my intention for this program is the same as it has been before this video or for the whole video series. This is gonna be the most transformative course you could possibly get. And this video is coming to your world very soon. In the meantime, I would love to hear from you. So what is your vision? What phase are you in right now? What phase do you find hard maybe? Or what phase easier on you? Or what would a breakthrough through the eye of the needle bring into your life? So please, what you can do now is scroll down and leave me a comment or a question for me, because I truly love to read and answer your comments and I really love to connect with you. So leave me a comment right now and I'll see you very soon in the next video.